right, everyone. Hello, Holly King. Welcome to my podcast. This is Wild Kingdom Wellness. We will talk about everything well in this podcast. We will explore topics that include subject matters like spirituality, physical, mental, emotional health, and also the things you see going on in the world around you. So if you are ready to go on this Wild Kingdom Wellness ride with me, then make sure that you subscribe to this podcast. You also share this particular podcast and more with others. I will be exploring the realms that people are afraid to go into, and you will not want to miss these episodes. So, Holly King, Wild Kingdom Wellness, welcome to my journey. All right. Hello, everyone. Holly King. Welcome to Wild Kingdom Wellness. Today is Tuesday, January the 20th, 2026. The color of the day today is gray, and the moon, she is precisely in the sign of Aquarius. Well, what am I talking about, ladies and gentlemen? I'm talking about the 2026 Witch's Date book by Llewellyn. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how I start my day off. So, what do we want to talk about today? Well, I would like to continue to explore upon a recent conversation that I had with my professor, Trinity School of Natural Medicine. And ladies and gentlemen, in front of me, I have a copy of a book that I just purchased called The Metaphysical Christian by Charlotte McGuire Goodwin. So we are going to talk today about wellness, but we're going to talk about spiritual wellness today more than we're going to talk about physical wellness. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned and subscribe this podcast because you are not going to want to miss an episode of the conversations that I will be having with you and other people when it comes to health, wellness, spiritual, physical, mental and emotional health. So recently I had a conversation with my professor who is teaching me to become a certified Bible coach through Trinity School of Natural Health. And he and I got into a bit of a disagreement-ish, I would say, about whether or not Christians could potentially coach biblically with Eastern metaphysical modalities being a part of the practice of biblical coaching. And so a few days back, I had been working on a paper for my certification, and I had inserted, and I'd done this a couple of times in this program, I had inserted into my paper correlations with things like Eastern modalities, the chakras, yoga, metaphysical and spiritual connotations. And I had inserted things like that into my paper alongside of things like scripture out of the Bible. You're like, well, what's the big deal with that? Well, being a metaphysical Christian myself and someone who practices things like the art of Reiki, the art of yoga, ritual work, meditation, for me as a Christian and as a wellness practitioner, those things go hand in hand together. Like for me and my brain, the way my brain works, I would not perceive myself to be the type of coach that would separate out spiritual wellness from biblical principles. Okay. But my professor had pulled me to the side via email, and he had asked me to not incorporate any of the metaphysical, quote unquote, Eastern modalities into my homework, into my papers, or into my responses when replying to my student peers' dissertations and discussions. He asked me not to put the two together. And, well, I disagreed with him. Now, going forward, I have 2 weeks left of school to become a Bible coach, a certified Bible coach. I agreed to honor his request to not insert metaphysical properties, practices, modalities into my homework, into my dissertations. I agreed with my professor that I would not do that for the last 2 weeks of the school year or the semester. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly told him that I disagreed with his principle. However, he was the guy with the red pen that would either pass or fail me